For more than 44 years, CSR has provided services to children in the care or custody of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and to their families. CSR began with the understanding that too many families and children of every race, ethnic, and linguistic background found themselves trapped in systems which they did not trust and therefore could not use effectively to meet their needs. CSR's approach was to place the family at the center of the system, concentrating on building a network of professional and community supports that could nurture trusting relationships, communicate respect, and teach the skills of empowerment.
There are 4 core areas of service: early education and care, services for homeless families and individuals, behavioral health, individuals in recovery, and of course our core area of service, child welfare.
Some families need help with advocating for certain things. There's a lot of different needs and concerns that the families have, and if I'm able to help support them in those areas, then that's how I extend myself being a family support person.
When children have IEPs at school, we go into the schools to help find out why children may not be learning as well as they could be learning.
I am an ICC coordinator. It stands for Intensive Care Coordinator. And what I do, I get the case and I have a very short time to assess the family. I go in, I do the assessment, and I have to come up with a document which is called CANS. CANS stands for Children's in Need of Services. I need to have that document in order to develop the treatment plan or the ICP. Once I have the ICP, I go with the family and then I do the care planning meeting.
We do a lot of advocating for our families, and a lot of needs is basically surrounded around housing and how to get around some of the families. Language barriers is one of the big factors that we have with some of the families. We translate when we go to their DTA office, wherever their needs are, we go a lot with them.
Once I have the goals, I can start plugging in services. Like for example, I can do a referral for IHD, in-home behavioral, a therapeutic mentor, and other services. So this is based on what family needs.
And we realize that in the work that we're doing, what we are striving always to do is really bring families together and strengthen families.
When I was in Oregon, things weren't that easy. We were struggling trying to learn English. It was hard for us to communicate, and we were just having trouble. And we got into kind of depression, and we didn't want to move anymore. We wanted to stay in a single place. So my coordinator has been awesome. He has helped my family a lot. One of the most important things is, I'll say, is counseling. He's always been there for me and for my family. Every time my mom's needs some help, needs somebody to talk to, he's always there for us. So after coming to Children's Services, I felt like I really had a home, and I really want to thank him for that.
We recognize that every individual, every family, and every community has enormous strengths, yet too often they are identified by their presenting problem.
I'm a single father of one, and it was hard for us to get into shelter anyway. So it basically came down to me coming here, which is actually a shelter for single male adults.
Basically, we go in the office and we talk about everyday struggle, things that happen every day, because with today we can practice for tomorrow. And me and Abe, we live by that right now.
Well, basically, I lost my job at the post office because of drugs, and from there it was basically downhill financially, getting divorced, and I ended up here, really. It's a long story, but basically I ended up here because of drugs and gambling. When I first got here, I was a little uncomfortable, but a lot of the staff members, like Mr. Hardy here, made me feel welcome.
What we offer is outpatient substance abuse services, where they meet with myself to discuss past issues with substance abuse. I also offer a women's group to some of the newly people in recovery at one of our houses called the Richardson House. and also some of our graduates from that program.
Without CSR and my casework and the other people that have been so supportive, I don't think I could have made it this far. I think a lot of people would be lost and couldn't make it without the support and encouragement of staff. CSR, the staff is just like, wonderful. And they're so supportive. They don't look down on you and they continue to help you.
My responsibilities are to reintegrate my clients back into society while maintaining sobriety.
Children's Services of Roxbury has really truly helped me. I've been clean 2.5 years now, so I'm very proud of that. I've obtained a career, not only a job but a career, and I'm looking to move up in the company itself, and basically at this point I'm just waiting for housing to be on my own, and I have Children's Services of Roxbury to thank for.
There's also family support services, which includes child welfare programs, parent mentoring, family stabilization and support, and a number of other programs.
I've been a foster parent for about 10 years, and I've been referred to Children's Services through friends, some friends from my neighborhood. Children's Services of Roxbury made it easy for me to be a foster parent. If I'm still a foster parent, they made it easier for me.
We started with United Homes for Children, and then it changed to Children's Services of Roxbury. The service is great. The support is wonderful. They're really helpful. I could call them up anytime, day or night, and they'd call me to place children in my home when we started with the foster care. They have disabilities, they have all kinds of problems, but you know what? They deserve the best chance and the best schools.
So today, there are approximately 24 programs, over 4 core areas of service. In 2012, the organization began a process of becoming more trauma-informed. We joined a national learning community organized by the National Council of Behavioral Health Organizations. We formed a core group internally, and that group led the organization in a process of training across the organization, including staff at all levels. We recognize that trauma is pervasive and affects us in ways that we don't always even realize, and not just those we serve, but staff as well.
Hey.